10 shocking psychology facts about best friends. Have you ever wondered why your best friend seems to understand you in ways no one else does? Why they seem to just get you without you having to say a word? It's more than shared memories or similar interests, there's real psychology behind why best friends often feel like they're on a unique wavelength, connected in ways others can't quite comprehend. Imagine this, from syncing brain activity to picking up on emotions you haven't even expressed. Best friends are bonded through deep, fascinating psychological phenomena. How is it possible that your best friend can anticipate your thoughts or feelings, sometimes better than you can yourself? And why do you sometimes trust them with things you wouldn't share with family? Science shows that friendships go beyond emotional support, they actually influence our mental and physical well-being, sometimes in ways that are downright unbelievable. Today, we're exploring 10 mind-blowing psychology facts about best friends that might just change how you see your closest connections, from influencing your choices to boosting your health. These surprising insights reveal how powerful true friendships really are. Are you ready to discover what makes your friendship truly unique? Let's dive in. 1. Best friends can literally sync their brains. Imagine this, you're hanging out with your best friend, chatting about your day, or maybe even watching a movie together. Suddenly, you both finish each other's sentences. It feels almost magical, doesn't it? But did you know that what's happening is actually a fascinating neurological phenomenon? Best friends, in a way, can literally sync their brains. It's called neural synchrony, and it means that when you and your best friend are together, your brain activity patterns begin to mirror each other. In simple terms, it's like your minds are in perfect harmony. This phenomenon happens when best friends share experiences, whether it's talking, laughing, or simply being in the same space together. It's as though your brains are on the same wavelength, processing information and emotions in sync. But here's the kicker, this connection isn't limited to just in-person interactions. Studies have shown that even when best friends are apart, their brains can still show similar patterns, especially when thinking about shared memories or experiences. Could this be proof that the bond you share with your best friend is so deep that it transcends distance? It's as though you're somehow spiritually connected even when miles apart. Ever found yourself thinking of your best friend, only to receive a message from them moments later? That's no coincidence. Your brains, in a sense, are still tuned into each other. So, how far does this connection go? Can best friends truly read each other's minds without saying a word? And could this brain-syncing phenomenon explain why best friends seem to understand each other so profoundly? 2. Best friends influence your behavior more than you realize. Have you ever stopped to think about how much your best friend really impacts who you are? It goes way beyond shared hobbies or mutual interests. Our best friends shape our behavior, attitudes, and even our personalities in ways we might not even realize. It's often said that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and nowhere is this truer than with your best friend. Have you ever noticed how your speech patterns, habits, or even your sense of humor start to resemble your best friend's? Well, it's not a coincidence. Psychological research shows that we tend to adopt behaviors and attitudes from the people we spend the most time with, and this is especially true for best friends. If your best friend is passionate about fitness, chances are you'll start prioritizing your health as well. The same goes for their interests, opinions, and even the way they approach challenges. Over time, you might find yourself subconsciously mirroring their mindset or values. But here's the twist, this influence doesn't stop at visible behaviors like your favorite activities or the way you talk. It even extends to deeper, more subtle aspects of your personality. Your worldview, the way you make decisions, and even your long-term goals can be deeply influenced by your best friend's perspectives. So, could it be that your best friend is not only your partner in crime but also your personal mentor, shaping the very core of who you are? How much of your identity has been shaped by your best friend? And if their influence can shape your life in such profound ways, what does that say about the power of human connection? 3. Best friends trust you more than family. We've all heard the saying, blood is thicker than water. But what if I told you that, in some situations, best friends often trust each other more than family? That might sound surprising, but it's true. Research shows that when it comes to sharing secrets, seeking advice, or dealing with sensitive matters, people often turn to their best friend over their own family. But why is this the case? Family relationships are often steeped in history, expectations, and sometimes even judgment. We may feel like we have to live up to certain roles within our families, like being the responsible sibling or the dutiful child. On the other hand, best friends are often chosen based on shared values, emotional compatibility, and mutual respect, creating a stronger, more judgment-free zone. This dynamic allows us to be more vulnerable with them, to express things that we might not feel comfortable discussing with family members. And it's not just about comfort, it's about trust. Best friends often create a safe space where we can be completely honest, knowing that they won't judge us for our mistakes or fears. But here's where it gets even more interesting. This level of trust with a best friend often leads to deeper emotional intimacy. When we trust someone enough to share our deepest secrets or vulnerabilities, it strengthens the bond, allowing for an even greater sense of emotional security. Could this mean that the friendships we choose can sometimes provide a more authentic and supportive relationship than the family bonds we're born into? If trust is the cornerstone of every great relationship, what does it say about the deep level of understanding and emotional compatibility that best friends offer? How does this shift the way we view the importance of chosen relationships over biological ones? 4. Best friends share an emotional language. Have you ever had a moment where you and your best friend are in the middle of a conversation, and it feels like you don't need to say anything at all? A look, a gesture, a shared glance, and suddenly, you both understand exactly what the other person is feeling. This silent communication is one of the most remarkable aspects of close friendships. Over time, best friends develop their own emotional language. It's not just about inside jokes or quirky phrases. It's a deeper understanding, one that goes beyond words. Best friends intuitively know what the other needs emotionally, often without having to spell it out. Think about it. How many times have you been feeling down, and your best friend just knew how to comfort you, even if you hadn't said anything? Or maybe they made a small gesture that lifted your spirits in ways you never expected. This emotional language is built on years of shared experiences and a deep understanding of each other's emotional needs. But here's the intriguing part: this language can go beyond just body language or simple gestures. Sometimes, a brief look can say everything. It's like you have a secret code that only the two of you understand. But how does this happen? Can two people truly become so in tune with each other that they can communicate entire conversations with a single glance? And what does it mean for our other relationships? Are we missing out on this level of understanding because we don't have the same emotional language with others? Does the deep bond you share with your best friend make it easier for them to offer support? Or does it sometimes make you feel like they know you better than you know yourself? Is this connection the true magic of friendship, being able to understand someone so deeply that no words are needed? 5. Best friends can help you heal faster. When you're physically sick, mentally exhausted, or emotionally drained, what's the one thing that can often make a difference? A visit from your best friend. It sounds simple, but the impact of having a best friend by your side during tough times is far more profound than we realize. Research has shown that having strong social support, especially from someone as close as a best friend, can actually speed up your recovery time. But how exactly does this work? The answer lies in the powerful biochemical processes that occur when we feel supported. The presence of a best friend can trigger the release of oxytocin, the love hormone, which reduces stress, promotes relaxation, and even accelerates physical healing. Imagine you're lying in bed, sick, and your best friend sits beside you, offering a listening ear, a warm meal, or simply holding your hand. This emotional comfort is not only soothing, it actually aids in your physical recovery. It's almost as if your body knows you're safe, and that sense of security helps it heal faster. But it's not just the physical presence of your best friend that brings healing. Even a phone call or a simple text can have a surprising impact. Research shows that even thinking about your best friend or reminiscing about happy times together can trigger the same healing responses. This connection goes beyond just emotional comfort, it's a biological boost. So next time you're feeling down or under the weather, consider the power of your best friend's support. Could it be that friendship is one of the most underestimated forms of medicine out there? What does it mean for us to realize that our best friends aren't just emotional support, they're literally part of our healing process? 6. Best friends can read your emotions better than you can. Have you ever been in a situation where your best friend knew you were upset even before you did? Or they pointed out that something was bothering you when you hadn't even realized it yourself? It's almost uncanny how well best friends can read your emotions. How do they do it? The truth is, best friends become so attuned to each other over time that they often pick up on subtle emotional cues that the person themselves may not even be aware of. This ability to read your emotions can sometimes feel like a superpower. Best friends spend so much time with you that they become experts in recognizing your emotional shifts, even before you consciously realize them. Whether it's a small change in your tone of voice, a shift in body language, or even a change in the way you hold yourself, your best friend picks up on it and knows something's wrong. The interesting thing is that this often happens without any need for words. Your best friend can sense when you're stressed, anxious, sad, or even happy, often just by looking at you or hearing the smallest hint in your voice. Over time, they develop an emotional shorthand that lets them know exactly what you're feeling, even when you're not ready to admit it. How is it that one person can become so attuned to your emotional state? Is it a natural instinct? Or is it something that develops through the sheer amount of time spent together? When a best friend can sense your feelings better than you can, it's not just about emotional connection, it's about being deeply in tune with another human being on a level that transcends words. Does this ability to understand each other without words explain why best friends often seem inseparable, even when they don't speak the same language? 7. Best friends can be your biggest source of stress. Best friends are supposed to be the people you turn to when you need comfort, support, or advice, right? But what if, at times, they're also the source of your greatest stress? Sounds strange, doesn't it? How can the person who knows you best and has your back also be the one who causes you the most emotional turmoil? Well, the truth is that the intensity of the bond you share with your best friend means that conflicts, misunderstandings, or unmet expectations can feel more intense than in other relationships. You care about them deeply, which makes the stakes higher when things go wrong. If you've ever argued with your best friend, you know it's not just a casual disagreement, it feels like a personal attack. Even if that's not the case, this emotional closeness means that when something goes awry, it can be particularly painful. The fear of losing that close connection can magnify even minor issues. And yet, it's also this very intensity that allows you to work through challenges and emerge stronger on the other side. Best friends often have the ability to argue and still come out with a deeper understanding of one another, which strengthens the relationship in the long run. The closeness you share can also make it easier to resolve conflicts quickly because there's an unspoken understanding that, despite disagreements, the friendship is too valuable to let go. But how do we reconcile the fact that your best friend can be both your biggest emotional support and your greatest source of stress? Could this paradox actually be what makes the bond so special, having someone who challenges you as much as they comfort you? Is it possible that without the tension of occasional conflict, the relationship wouldn't be as deep or meaningful? 8. Best friends can boost your self-esteem. Have you ever noticed that when you're feeling down, a simple conversation with your best friend can instantly lift your spirits? This isn't just a coincidence. Best friends have a unique ability to boost our self-esteem in ways that no one else can. It's almost like they serve as emotional mirrors, reflecting back to us the best parts of ourselves when we forget to see them. When you're struggling with self-doubt or questioning your abilities, your best friend is often the first person to remind you of your worth. They see your strengths when you can't see them yourself, and they've witnessed your successes, even the small ones, that you might have overlooked. This consistent reinforcement of positive beliefs helps to build your confidence over time. Think about it. How many times have you felt unsure about something, only to have your best friend cheer you on and remind you that you're capable of achieving great things? The encouragement they offer can be a game changer, motivating you to pursue goals or take risks that you might have otherwise avoided. But the impact of a best friend on your self-esteem goes beyond just verbal support. They also encourage you to take pride in your achievements and celebrate your victories, no matter how small. It's this unwavering belief in you, combined with their ability to remind you of your worth, that gives you the courage to face challenges head-on. Could it be that best friends are the secret to building long-lasting self-confidence? And what happens when you don't have that kind of support? How does it impact your ability to see your own potential? 9. Best friends know when you're lying, even when others don't. How many times have you tried to hide the truth from your best friend, only for them to see right through your attempt? It's like they have a built-in lie detector. This uncanny ability to spot when you're not being entirely honest comes from the fact that best friends know you better than anyone else. They've spent countless hours with you, learning your speech patterns, body language, and emotional cues. They know when something is off, whether it's a subtle shift in your tone, avoiding eye contact, or an unexpected change in your behavior. Your best friend can immediately tell when something's not right. This doesn't mean they're trying to catch you in a lie, it's a testament to the deep connection you share. They can sense when you're hiding your true feelings or trying to protect them from something difficult. But why is it that best friends are so much better at reading us than anyone else? Could it be that this ability to see through our masks is one of the most powerful aspects of true friendship? And if your best friend can tell when you're lying, does that mean they also understand you better than you understand yourself sometimes? This deep emotional intelligence creates a bond that's unshakable, where honesty is the foundation, and no secret stays hidden for long. What does it mean for us to have someone who knows us so well that they can see through our defenses and still love us unconditionally? 10. Being around your best friend can literally affect your health. What if we told you that spending time with your best friend doesn't just make you feel emotionally better, it can also physically benefit your health? It's true. Being around your best friend has been shown to lower your heart rate, reduce stress, and decrease levels of cortisol, the hormone responsible for stress. So next time you're feeling overwhelmed, consider spending some time with your best friend. The effects might surprise you. The reason behind this is that close friendships provide a sense of safety and security, which helps your body relax and de-stress. The calming effect of being with a best friend isn't just temporary either. Over time, this emotional support can contribute to long-term improvements in your overall health. Studies have shown that having someone you trust and who has your back reduces your overall stress levels, leading to better mental health and even improved physical well-being. So, how does this work on a biological level? When you're in the presence of someone who makes you feel safe, your body responds by releasing hormones that promote relaxation and healing. This response isn't just for the moments when you're together, it can have lasting effects on your physical health over time. The emotional bond with your best friend is more than just comforting, it's like a health booster. So, could your best friend actually be the best remedy for stress, and not just a source of emotional support? What does this say about the power of friendship and the bigger picture of our overall well-being?